Good evening, everyone. I'm Ruchita, your host. Tonight, we have joined in to understand some facts that will help us make the right decisions. Is fat really the villain that we make it out to be? Are all fats bad? Are we having enough or are we having too much of it? What is the correct ratio of omega 3 versus omega 6 that our body requires? To walk us through these and many other questions, we have two very esteemed speakers with us tonight. It is my honor and privilege to invite Farooq Tarapur to start the session. He is an Olympian, a two-time world champion in sailing, and has had an active sporting career of 40 plus years. Yes, you heard that right. He's won innumerable awards, including the Chhatrapati Shivaji Award and the Arjuna Award. He's a flag bearer on this journey with the mission Har Ghar Healthy, Har Ghar Medicine Free, and we are living those examples. Let's listen from him. Over to you, Farooq.
Ruchita, and good evening and welcome to this exciting Monday session. This subject about omega-3 is really close to my heart. And I'll first begin by telling my own story. And after that, I will share something more. You know, when I was competing and I used to feel really tired and, all the muscles, there used to be always some injury and a lot of inflammation in my body. I used to feel that I can't compete anymore and, I'm done. And fortunately, I was introduced to this, I would call omega-3 as a miracle macronutrient because it has the potential to kill any kind of inflammation. And then I did some more reading on the subject. Okay, I went through the omega-3 websites and what they say. So there is so much of, talk on the internet about it, but there's very little on that internet which reveals what is, which differentiates the fact from fiction. And I realized that this whole thing about omega-3 is, for us mortals over here who live in the cities, virtually impossible to get. And that's where I started looking at the supplementation program. And I would look and read on these bottles, that what's your dosage kind of required. And they would write like 1, 2, 3, as desired, and, some kind of stuff. Whereas when I did my own research and I did my digging into omega-3 and what is really required is that your body actually needs 25 grams of omega-3 to eat really, really healthy. And all the supplements that are available in the world are like, 1 gram. So if you take 1 or 2 omegas and say, yeah, kuch nahi hua, to I would say, okay, yeah, you are right, because you haven't taken enough. And they recommend actually that you should be taking 25 of them. So I started taking more, I started with taking 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And the only reason I could confidently take it because I was sure that, these were not either any banned substances or, or even restricted items as per WADA, the World Anti-Doping Agency. And I started taking like 10 or 12 of them. I remember in my last Asian Games in 2010 in China, we were in through a very, very tough phase, going through the whole qualification round. And since our sport takes a long time, so it takes a heavy toll on the body, I was taking about 10 to 12 omega-3s every day. And every morning I would get up and I would feel, like less than half my age. So I know the power of this stuff. But there is a little research done on this Eskimos, which also is extremely exciting for people to understand and know. Eskimos eat a lot of fat, but yet there is absolutely very low chance of a cardiac arrest amongst Eskimos. And people started to wonder that why they're eating so much of fat, they're eating all the wrong stuff. How come no one dies over there for cardiac arrest or a cardiac failure? And realized that by default, they were also eating a lot of salmon. And through salmon, they got their omega-3 in huge quantities. And that is why none of these Eskimos, ever have any problem with their entire, cardiac system. And hence, they do not have a problem, with any kind of heart conditions and things like that. So these are two, very, very important facts that I thought I would discuss today with you, so that you understand. Don't take omega-3 lightly. If there's any problem, okay, many of your problems of inflation, a couple of days ago, I put up that book, that you must read this book, What Your Doctor Does Not Know About Nutritional Supplement Might Be Killing You. There's a very, very fantastic book written by a doctor by the name of Ray Strand. And he soon realized that, that he had so little knowledge that he started looking into the whole subject, and he realized that, wow, this is something that you need to really look into it, And I can assure you that when doctors can't find, something wrong, or they are really researching, omega-3 is your friend. You need to get close to omega-3. Unfortunately, in India, our Indian culture, the Indian cooking, through various religions, various castes, various cultures, various states, all of them have huge amounts of omega-3. And in order to balance this out, you need at least a ratio of 1:5. That means if you're eating 5 grams of bad fat, you at least need 1 gram of good fat. And what we found was that the ratio in our country is more like 1:50. So we are 10 times on the part of ill health. We are 10 times on the part of inflammation. We are 10 times, away from having, really good health and a really good holistic health. So don't take this omega-3 lightly. Whenever I have a problem, okay, I cannot understand something is going wrong, something is aching, I always increase my omega-6 dosage. Recently, I've been taking, 6 a day, and that's really, really helping my cause. And I really encourage you to look at this omega-6 supplementation very seriously, and not just, shy it away as, oh, this is like one of the supplements and one of the micronutrients. It is, trust me, guys, it is really a hero macronutrient that you must look at it. Today, you're going to listen from Raj, on this subject. And Raj, when I met him many years ago, he was a strict vegetarian. And although he was a strict vegetarian, when he realized the value of omega-3, coming from the right source of salmon, of salmon and the various fish, he started consuming that. And he realized that that really made a huge difference to his health and the, holistic health of his family. So guys, over to you. Listen to Raj very carefully. Over to you, Raj.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Farooq. And thanks for bringing in that information. And I can still recollect that day first, like when we were discussing about omega-3 and the benefits it has on our health. So, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm Raj, and I'm connecting to you all from Gurgaon. And as Farooq said, I'm also equally excited to share this bit of information today because it is going to add value to your life and to your family's life. Uh, Let me share the screen. Okay. So fats, but before fats, let's see some of the other things that impacts our health, and then we'll come to the main topic for today, which is about fats. So let's see that what are the things that impact our health, the harsh reality, how sugar, high fat, processed foods, alcohol, smoking damage our body and our health. A couple of years ago when जब हम ये प्रोग्राम पे आ रहे थे, सो मेरा एक ही कॉन्सेप्ट था कि अगर मैं अपने कैलोरीज को मेजर कर लूँ पूरे दिन में, सो आई एम लिविंग अ हेल्दी लाइफ. And then I realized that it is not only measuring the calories that will make the difference, but हमको ये भी समझने की जरूरत पड़ेगी that what are the things that is going to impact our health in a negative way. So at times it is वो बोलते हैं ना कि आप क्या गलत कर रहे हो सिर्फ उतना ही नहीं जानना इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्या सही करना है वो भी जानना इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंट है, राइट? तो आई मीन शुगर, so let's start with sugar. लेट्स सी लाइक हम जो पैक्ड फूड खाते हैं उसमें हिडन शुगर कितना है नाउ. अक्सर अगर आप देखोगे वी डोंट इवन रीड द लेबल्स एंड वी रियलाइज दैट इसमें तो शुगर है ही नहीं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई हैड दिस हैबिट ऑफ टेकिंग कोकोनट वाटर, जो पैक्ड कोकोनट वाटर आता है, और मैं उसको बहुत फ्रीक्वेंटली पिया करता था बिकॉज उसके ऊपर 100% नेचुरल लिखा होता था, उसके ऊपर टेंडर कोकोनट लिखा होता था, एंड आई यूज्ड टू फील दैट इसमें क्या मिलावट हो सकती है, चलो दिस इज गुड as an alternative to if you want to drink something. And then one day when I read the label, मैंने उसको लेबल को पढ़ा तो बहुत छोटा छोटा लिखा था, what it has is sugar and water. That's the main content that it carries. So, for example, अगर आप सॉस में देखेंगे तो it has got 6 cubes of sugar in it. अगर आप orange juice देखेंगे, it has got as good as 10 cubes sugar in it, right? One bar of chocolate or something has got 6.5 cubes. So, sugar is there in all the packed foods, and somewhere we don't even realize when we consume this and how negatively it can impact our health. So you need to be very cautious next time when you are picking up a sauce or something like that, because something that says 100% natural does not necessarily mean कि उसमें sugar नहीं है. So नाउ ये मार्केटिंग टैक्टिक्स है वो शुगर को, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल फैट फ्री, फ्रोजन, ये सारी चीजें जो लिखी जाती है, लेकिन जब आप उसके इंग्रेडिएंट लेबल को रीड करोगे तो उसके अंदर आप देखोगे कि इट इज कंप्लीटली डिफरेंट. सो दिस इज सम ऑफ द मार्केटिंग, लाइक द वे आई स्पोक अबाउट द कोकोनट वाटर, कि ऊपर से वो 100% नेचुरल दिखता था बट अंदर में उसमें वाटर है एंड यू गॉट द अदर स्टफ इन इट, राइट? Now, what is the impact on this high sugar on our body and our health? Uh, Addictive habits that can persist till the adulthood. This is one of a very basic, जो हमारे cravings होते हैं, जो हमारे habits हो जाते हैं, chocolate for example, right? तो sugar में एक substance होता है जो कि आपकी ये craving, ये urge को increase करता है. एंड समवेयर समटाइम्स अगर आप देखो वो एक से मन नहीं भरता है, कई बार आप दो तीन बार बार खाने का मन करता है. So negative effect on overall health, nutrient deficiencies, and increased risk of chronic diseases. Negative impact on liver health. So liver health को हम आगे स्टडी करेंगे कि कैसे वो इम्पैक्ट करता है. मूड स्विंग्स, स्वीट फूड्स कैन बी मोर एडिक्टिव and can result into greater depression and accelerated aging. So sugar has got a lot of negative impact. And since almost last 2 years, 2.5 years, we have completely stopped sugar in our house. So this is one of a main choice that you need to do, that आप उसका alternative ढूंढ सकते हो, but definitely completely no to the sugar. Impact of high sugar food on our gut health. So it imbalances the gut bacteria which is there in the gut. So उसका जो bacteria है उसको imbalance कर देता है. Disruption in the gut mobility, weight gain, and increased risk of gut. Uh, you need to read and study that what it is. So ओवरऑल अगर आप इसको देखोगे तो जो हमारा गट हेल्थ है, विच इज द रूट कॉज ऑफ अ लॉट ऑफ हेल्थ रिलेटेड चैलेंजेस, ये उसमें एक मेन फैक्टर प्ले करता है. सो हेंस जिनको स्वीट क्रेविंग भी होती है, यू नीड टू फाइंड ऑल्टरनेटिव्स, गेट इन टच विद योर हेल्थ बडी, दे विल हेल्प यू टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट हाउ यू कैन क्रिएट एन ऑल्टरनेटिव टू दिस होल थिंग. Now, impact of high fat, like Farooq spoke about fats. So fats कैसे impact करता है high fat on our health? Like for example, salad dressings that we have, right? Processed snacks that we eat, energy bars, dairy products, restaurant meals and parties, wedding. Because इसके अंदर जो sauce होता है, उसके अंदर जो fat content होता है बहुत ज़्यादा होता है. And that जो fat है, वो हमारे health को बहुत ज़्यादा negatively impact करता है. Sometimes we choose to eat those Caesar salads and all those salads that we order in a restaurant. But what we forget is the sauce that they use on it, the topping and the dressings that they put on it. They are very, very high. उसमें sugar quantity भी high होती है, and the fat which your body doesn't need. So हम fat को अभी details में study करेंगे that what is fats and all those stuff is important. But you need to be very choosy when you are ordering and when you're picking up the food, especially when you are not making it at home, right? Now, there are two types of fat. One is a good fat, the second is a bad fat. One second. Okay. One second, please. Please give me a second. Yeah. So there are good fats and bad fats. Now, mainly what you need to understand is जो भी plant based से आ रहा है या जो भी plant से आ रहा है या salmon fish से आ रहा है, that is all a good fats because this is the fat that our body needs. But bad fats, for example, if you are eating a McDonald's का burger, that has also got fats in it. आप pastries खा रहे हो, right? आप processed meats खा रहे हो, French fries खा रहे हो. Now ये वो fats है that our body doesn't need and it creates a negative impact on our health. So you need to be very, very careful when you are making the choices of what is good fat and what is bad fats all about. Like for example, olive oil, salmon, flax seeds, raw nuts, coconut oil, eggs, they are good. Avocados, they are good, right? So you need to be very cautious when you are picking up like what type of fats. Now earlier हम क्या करते थे, हमें ये पता था कि कितना पोर्शन खाना है, बट उस पोर्शन में क्या खाना है उसका बहुत ज्यादा नॉलेज नहीं था. सो क्या होता था, आप वो हेल्थ को तो मैनेज कर लेते हो थोड़े दिन के लिए, लेकिन जब आप उस प्रोग्राम से बाहर होते हो, यू बाउंस बैक टू योर ओरिजिनल स्टेट. What you are going to learn over here is how to develop the right habits so that you don't have to worry for the rest of your life कि आपकी हेल्थ कैसे होगी. This is the good part about this program. Now, high fats का gut health के ऊपर क्या होता है? Now, it slows down your digestion. It impacts on your gut microbiota. तो microbiota क्या होता है? Your gut has got bad bacteria and good bacteria. Anything that you make the right choices will help the good bacteria to increase in your gut. And जो भी हम जो नहीं खाना चाहिए like sugar, fats, processed food, ये जो bad bacteria है उसको increase करता है. And then any health related challenge that you can think of, it starts with the bad bacteria. Increases in the gut inflammation, bile production and absorption, right? Altered gut mobility. So ये सारे में देखोगे जो आपका gut health है ये बहुत ज्यादा compromise हो जाता है. Now, what is processed food? बॉडी में अगर आप एक प्लांट बेस्ड फूड डालोगे तो बॉडी उसको प्रोसेस करती है, लीवर के थ्रू जाएगा, वो सारा गट 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 में जाता है, वो प्रोसेस होता है, बॉडी उसमें से न्यूट्रिएंट निकालती है. एंड दिस इज हाउ द प्रोसेस हैपेंस. बट जब आप एक प्रोसेस फूड खाते हो तो क्या होता है, वो जो पूरा प्रोसेस है वो बाईपास हो जाता है. और बिकॉज वो प्रोसेस बाईपास हो जाता है, बॉडी बॉडी रियलाइज ही नहीं कर पाती है. एंड आपकी जो फुलनेस वाली फीलिंग है वो बहुत लेट होती है, एंड देन यू टेंड टू गेन वेट एंड देयर आर अदर हेल्थ रिलेटेड impacts when you are eating too much of processed food. So they lack nutrients, they give you empty calories. Now what is empty calorie? For example, एक एप्पल में भी कैलोरी और एक चॉकलेट में भी कैलोरी है, बट एप्पल में बाकी न्यूट्रिएंट्स हैं विच द बॉडी नीड्स. सो ऑल्दो ऑन द फेस वैल्यू दोनों के ऊपर कैलोरी सेम दिखाई देगा, लेकिन one is an empty calorie, the other is got a the other carries calorie but with a lot of vitamin and mineral in it. Artificial additives, और ये आर्टिफिशियल जो डाले जाते हैं इनमें एक सब्सटेंस होता है जो कि एक इंग्रेडिएंट होता है जो कि ये रिपीट क्रेविंग को बहुत ज्यादा अर्ज को एनहेंस करता है, right? So it has got an impact on your digestive health. It imbalances your gut microbiome, addictive nature, and hidden ingredients which are not good for your health. So alcohol consumption का हमारे हेल्थ पे क्या असर पड़ता है? नाउ सबसे पहले योर लीवर गेट्स कॉम्प्रोमाइज, यू विल नेवर हैव अ गुड मूड, योर मूड गेट्स impacted. These are some of the things जो मैं बिना स्लाइड को देख के बोल सकता हूँ. सो इम्पैक्ट ऑन योर मेमोरी, आपके स्लीप में बहुत ज़्यादा असर पड़ता है उससे, एंड यू डोंट गेट अ साउंड स्लीप. Nutritional deficiencies increase risk of accidents, increase, you are very vulnerable to a lot of diseases, fetal alcohol, FASD. So ये जो disorder होता है, spectrum disorders, and effects on your heart, it has adverse effect on your heart also. So some people say that moderate, kam, jada. The answer is it's not good. So if it's not good, it doesn't make sense. I mean, uh, दिल्ली में people are talking about the air pollution today, right? Everybody is like, and कैसा है, क्या है? और मैं बोलता हूँ कि if it's more than 100, any which way you are not in a good condition. So फिर वो 300, 400, 500 जो भी होने दो. So ये moderate, little, ये वो, I mean, it's not good. I mean, you are somewhere, your health is going to get compromised. So this is what happens. The impact of alcohol on our health. Again, on smoking, again, we all know that smoking के क्या impact है, it leads to cancer. So we all know, but the best part, uh, sometimes we know, but you need to be a part of the community where it helps you to make the right choices. Recently, I was traveling in UP and I saw my cousin and who was like smoking and drinking at a particular time. And what I realized, what he was missing is not the information or the knowledge or the impact. What you're missing is the association of the right set of people. When you become a part of the community, it becomes easier, sustainable to make the right choices and to build the right habits. That's the main point. So it's not the lack of knowledge or information that people tend. It's those triggering factors, and this is what you learn in this program when you're a part of the community. That's the main element. So yeah. So conclusion: choose wellness over sweetness. Yeah. Uh, I had probably I can say I have a sweet tooth, but now at least we know how to make the right choices. I mean, हमारे घर में क्या होना चाहिए, क्या नहीं होना चाहिए. You'll see our kitchen full of all fruits and all. But अगर कोई sweet है तो दिवाली टाइम में बहुत थोड़ा सा है और हमने बाकी बांट दिया. But अगर आप हमारे घर में देखेंगे तो you'll find a lot of varieties of fruit in our house. So this is how you make the right alternatives, right? Say no to high fat food. From farm to fork, choose fresh, skip the processed food. Try and eat as much you can eat the fresh fruits and vegetables versus a packed and frozen stuff. Raise the bar of self-love. Quit alcohol, elevate your well-being. Free your lungs, reclaim your life. Quit smoking today. Right? ऐसी कोई भी चीज नहीं है जो हमें नहीं पता है, हमें पता है, but the missing element है is the community. When you become a part of the community, making the right choices become a habit. आप एक दूसरे को encourage करते हो. When you see other transforming their health, it becomes easier to make the decisions. Now comes the fact that Farooq was talking about. Now, are fats good or bad? Right? Kya fat, Ruchita spoke about she started with this line, is fat good or bad and why are we making it a villain? So let me tell you, your brain is made out of fats. Your nervous system is made out of fats. Your vital organ ko support karne ke liye you need fats. So definitely fats has got a major role to play. But what type of fats? What to eat and when to eat? Right? So what are these fats? It's one of the key nutrient which is essential for. Sorry, मेरा कैमरा ही वहां पे जा रहा है. 1 second, now I can minimize it. Yeah. 1 second. Okay. So it's one of the key nutrients which is essential for the body. Concentrated source of energy. Fats are subset of lipids. Fats are like our body's backup battery. Found in both plant and animal sources of food. So fats, right? नाउ फंक्शंस ऑफ फैट क्या है? बेसिकली ये एनर्जी को स्टोर करती है सेल फंक्शन में, ब्रेन फंक्शन में, इंसुलेशन एंड प्रोटेक्शन में. सो बेसिकली न्यूट्रिएंट एब्जॉर्प्शन, हार्मोन प्रोडक्शन, कुशनिंग अराउंड द सॉफ्ट ऑर्गन्स, रेगुलेटिंग हंगर एंड सटाइटी. सो ये वो चीज़ है, अगर आप देखेंगे कि फैट्स प्ले अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल इन अ बॉडी. एंड आफ्टर प्रोटीन, अगर सेकेंड मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट अगर कोई न्यूट्रिएंट है तो दैट इज फैट्स. यू नो anything that Farooq also mentioned in his talk, but any disease that you can think of, kahin na kahin fats has a role to play in it, right? Now, dietary fat, non-essential fats, and basically मैं इसके बहुत ज़्यादा डिटेल में नहीं जाऊंगा, but the only thing that you need to know are that what are the types of fat: saturated fat, monosaturated fat, trans fat, and polysaturated fat. Now, mainly what you need to understand, so basically अलग-अलग प्रकार के fats हैं. Now, saturated fat. Now, the main thing that you need to know over here is trans fat is something which is not good for your health. Right now, saturated fats होते हैं, monosaturated fats होते हैं, they are something like which is good for your health. But जो trans fat है, this is not good for your health. So इसके details को आप समझ सकते हैं, but आगे मैं बताता हूँ इसके details. Now, what is पॉलीसैचुरेटेड फैट्स। सो बेसिकली क्या होता है, हमारा जो बॉडी है, फैट्स दो प्रकार के होते हैं, वन इज ओमेगा 3 फैटी एसिड, द अदर इज ओमेगा 6 फैटी एसिड, राइट। इनके सोर्स अलग अलग हैं। नाउ मेनली जो ओमेगा 3 है दैट इज फाउंड इन फिश, स्पेशली सैमन फिश, मैक्रेल, ये वो फिश है जिसमें आपको ओमेगा 3 फैटी एसिड मिलती है। नाउ होता क्या है, द बॉडी नीड्स दिस बैलेंस ऑफ ओमेगा 3 एंड ओमेगा 6 फैटी एसिड्स, इनका बैलेंस चाहिए बॉडी को। Now, ideally, is omega 6 fatty acid bad? No. लेकिन जो रेशियो है, अगर वो रेशियो मेंटेन नहीं हुआ, सो दिस इज व्हाट लीड्स टू अ लॉट ऑफ लाइफस्टाइल challenges including tumor, cardiac related issue and all this other stuff, right? So it is very important to maintain this balance of omega 3 and omega 6. Now, omega 3 fatty acid is the main hero. लेकिन हम पूरी जिंदगी ओमेगा 6 के ऊपर फोकस करते रह जाते हैं, इसको कैसे कम करना है, विदाउट रियलाइजिंग दैट व्हाट इज द ऑप्टिमम लेवल ऑफ ओमेगा 3 दैट आवर बॉडी नीड्स, व्हाट आर द सोर्सेस एंड इसका रोल क्या है। नाउ यू नो ओमेगा 3 फैटी एसिड्स प्लांट बेस्ड प्रोडक्ट से भी आते हैं और मरीन सोर्स से भी आते हैं। नाउ मेनली अगर जैसे प्रोटीन में अमाइनो एसिड्स होता है, लाइक प्रोटीन इज मेड आउट ऑफ अमाइनो एसिड्स, असेंशियल एंड नॉन एसेंशियल, उसी प्रकार जो ओमेगा 3 फैटी एसिड्स होता है, इसके मेनली तीन तीन कंपोनेंट होते हैं, विच इज एएलए, ईपीए एंड डीएचए। एएलए होता है जब प्लांट सोर्स से आता है, दैट इज व्हाट इज कॉल्ड द एएलए। एएलए इज अ यू कैन से इट इज अ इंग्रेड नॉट इंग्रेडिएंट, बट ये चीज होती है जो ओमेगा 3 फैटी एसिड्स के अंदर होती है। नाउ मेन रोल होता है, एवरीथिंग हैज टू गेट कन्वर्टेड इनटू ईपी एंड इन डीएचए, बिकॉज जो भी आपका इन्फ्लेमेशन होता है, कोलेस्ट्रॉल रिलेटेड चीज होती है, अल्जाइमर्स होता है, ट्राइग्लिसराइड को कंट्रोल करना होता है, ये जो सारे रोल हैं दे आर प्लेड बाय ईपी एंड इन डीएचए। सो जो जो प्लांट बेस्ड सोर्स होते हैं उससे हमें एएलए फॉर्म में मिलता है ओमेगा 3 फैटी एसिड, लेकिन इसका चैलेंज ये होता है कि नॉट एवरीथिंग गेट कन्वर्टेड इनटू ईपी एंड डीएचए। सो बहुत लिमिटेड क्वांटिटी बॉडी कन्वर्ट कर पाता है फ्रॉम एएलए टू ईपी एंड डीएचए, एंड दिस इज द मेन रीजन फॉर पीपल हु से दैट आई ईट अ लॉट ऑफ फ्लेक्स सीड्स, हम ये करते हैं वो करते हैं। नाउ इफ इट इज अ प्लांट सोर्स, द बॉडी कैनॉट कन्वर्ट एवरीथिंग इनटू ईपी एंड डीएचए DHA. So what you need to understand over here is the importance of EPA and DHA. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, बिकॉज ये दो टाइप ऑफ ओमेगा 3 फैटी एसिड्स होते हैं जो कि बॉडी को चाहिए अपने डे टू डे एक्टिविटी को कन्वर्ट करने के लिए। एंड प्लांट का जो सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज है, जब प्लांट सोर्स का, उसका चैलेंज ये है कि नॉट एवरीथिंग गेट्स कन्वर्टेड इन द सेम प्रोपोर्शन ऑफ ईपी एंड डीएचए। So let's see plant-based sources. So majority in the form of ALA, like majority is in the form of ALA. So you don't get EP and DHA over here. Limited conversion of EP and DHA. Limited bioavailability, nutrient profile, protein, fiber, vitamins and minerals. More sustainable and have a lower environmental impact. So ये है उसका। But अगर आप marine sources को देखेंगे, so it is in the form of EP and DHA. Direct consumption and conversion, provided preformed EPA and DHA directly utilized. Nutrient profile gets high quantity of protein, overfishing and harm marine ecosystem. So this is like the comparison. What is the difference between them? Now is the main thing. You know, our body needs omega 3 and omega 6, but the ratio is like what Farooq said is around 1:5. But over a period of time, due to our choices that we make and other stuff, this ratio has gone as high as like 1:70 or 1:100. ये रेशियो है। एंड दिस इज द मेन रीजन व्हाई आप किसी को भी देखोगे, कल तक तो एकदम स्वस्थ है, लेकिन सडनली उनको 5 स्टंट डल गए हैं या स्टंट डल गए हैं। नाउ द मेन रूल इज यू आर नॉट मैनेजिंग योर ओमेगा 3 एंड ओमेगा 6। आप कॉशियस नहीं हो इसको लेके, या शायद आपको अवेयरनेस ही नहीं है इसके बारे में। नाउ एनी ट्यूमर और एनीथिंग कैन बी रिवर्स विद द हेल्प ऑफ ओमेगा 3 फैटी एसिड्स, बशर्ते टाइम होना चाहिए। एंड सो इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड, ओमेगा 3 प्लेज अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल। लेकिन हमारा जो प्रैक्टिस है, हम ओमेगा 6 को कम करने में लगे रहते हैं, हम ये नहीं खाएंगे वो नहीं खाएंगे। इंस्टेड यू नो यू नीड टू मेक द राइट चॉइसेस, सो इंक्रीज द क्वांटिटी ऑफ ओमेगा 3 इन योर डाइट। एंड दिस इज व्हाट फारूक वाज टेलिंग, दिस इज व्हाट फारूक वाज सेइंग कि वो पहले 2 खाते थे, 4 खाते थे, फिर 8 खाने लगे, 10 खाने लगे, 12 खाने लगे। You know the reason so this is what the importance of omega 3 is there in our body now. So gradually अगर आप देखोगे तो ये एंटी इन्फ्लेमेटरी भी होता है, और धीरे धीरे जब आप ओमेगा 3 देखेंगे तो जो आपके इन्फ्लेमेशन है ये उसको भी कम करने में बहुत ज्यादा मदद करता है। Now, impact of what is the impact of imbalanced fat? So, ये जो omega 3, omega 6 का जो ratio, any like this cholesterol related issues, blockage, tumors, cancer, is सब में omega 3 plays a very, very vital role. So, you need to understand the importance of omega 3. And in omega 3, you need to understand the importance of EPA and DHA. Because not all source of fats has EPA and DHA. So next time अगर आपको कोई बोलता है कि नहीं हम तो फ्लेक्स सीड खा लेंगे, understand कि not everything gets ALA that gets converted into EPA and DHA, and they play the vital role. So around 53% of the deaths in India are due to non-communicable diseases. And again, the ये जो नॉन कम्युनिकेबल डिजीज है इसका जो मेजर रोल है, इट इज द इम्बैलेंस ऑफ ओमेगा 3 टू ओमेगा 6. इनफैक्ट हमारे घर में आई लॉस्ट माई डैड बिकॉज ऑफ ब्रेन ट्यूमर. इनिशियली हमें नहीं समझ में आ रहा था. ही वॉज 100% प्योर वेजिटेरियन, एब्सोल्युटली फिट पर्सन, बट वी कुडंट अंडरस्टैंड ये ट्यूमर हुआ तो हुआ क्यों. एंड द बुक दैट फारूक was talking about, what your doctor doesn't know about nutrition may be killing you, जब मैं वो बुक को पढ़ा, so there is an entire chapter on this tumors and all those stuff where it clearly explains कि आपका जो ओमेगा 3 और जो ओमेगा 6 है, जब ये रेशियो होता है तो हाउ ट्यूमर कैन फॉर्म. डायबिटीज में अगर आप देखेंगे तो व्हेन योर एचडीएल एंड ट्राइग्लिसराइड का जब रेशियो चेंज होता है, सो दैट इज व्हाट कॉजेस डायबिटीज. सो आपको कैसे पता चलेगा दैट यू आर प्री डायबिटिक और यू आर गेटिंग इनटू दैट जोन. सो इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड द रेशियो ऑफ एचडीएल वर्सेस ट्राइग्लिसराइड, व्हेन इट इज मोर देन 2, you know that now you're in the diabetic zone. Sooner or later it is going to reflect in your blood. So anything that you can think about, fats play a very, very vital role over there. Number of obese men and women from, so agar aap ye dekhiye, so how this, like, our obesity is increasing, and one of the main cause is we are gaining fats and losing muscles. So jo, I mean, this is also one of the main cause why we are like obesity kyun बढ़ते जा रही है. Include healthy fats in your morning nutrition. Now it is very, very important. अगर आपने omega 3 की रोल को समझा, आपने fats को समझा, your brain, your nervous system, omega 3 plays a very, very vital role. And why fats are important in your morning nutrition? Because they impact your metabolic rate, bile secretion, nutrient absorption, energy expenditure. And nutrient, ये जो रात को जब हम सोते हैं और जो बॉडी जो रिपेयर करता है उसमें जो न्यूट्रिशन डिप्लीट होता है, आपको इसको मैनेज करना है. सो इट इज़ वेरी, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट मॉर्निंग न्यूट्रिशन में ओमेगा 3 फैटी एसिड नीड्स टू बी इंक्लूडेड. अगर आप एनर्जी बर्निंग और न्यूट्रिएंट अब्जॉर्प्शन को देख रहे हैं, सो ऑन द लेफ्ट व्हाट यू सी इज ड्यूरिंग द डे टाइम, एट नाइट व्हाट यू सी इज एट द नाइट टाइम. So, it is very important to understand that why omega 3 fatty acid is absolutely important in your morning nutrition. So, because they play a very vital role, and it is very, very important to have this in your morning breakfast. Now, supplementation time, morning may to replenish the depleted reserves of EPA and DHA, and evening may to prevent fall of EPA and DHA. So because of this EPA, DHA, Google search करके देखिएगा that what is the role that EPA and DHA plays in our body. And we are very fortunate because through this program, the supplements what we are talking about, this has the right set of EPA and DHA both. सो बहुत बार मार्केट में आपको सप्लीमेंट्स मिलेंगे, बट आइदर दे विल हैव ईपी और दे विल हैव डीएचए. वेरी रेयरली यू विल फाइंड अ बैलेंस ऑफ ईपी एंड डीएचए ऑल पुट टुगेदर, राइट. सो इंटरेस्टिंग फैक्ट्स अबाउट ऑयल एंड फैट्स. सो ऑयल के भी बारे में थोड़ा सा समझ लेते हैं. सम फैक्ट्स दैट you should know that reheated oil consumption may lead to damage to the cells of the body and can give toxic effect to your body. So we all have heard that ऑयल को बार बार रीकुक नहीं करना चाहिए बिकॉज हम जानते हैं कि वो हेल्थ के लिए ठीक नहीं है. Some hidden fats, baked food items still have vegetable oil in it, even if they are labeled at zero trans fat. It is writing zero trans fat, but it can have other type of fats जो हम उधर बोल रहे थे, saturated, monosaturated, polysaturated. So कोल्ड प्रेस ऑयल इज समथिंग विच इज गुड. एंड अगर आप हमारा इंडियन ट्रेडिशन को देखोगे तो हम शुरू से हम लोग कोल्ड प्रेस ऑयल ही फॉलो किया करते थे. इज द ट्रेडिशनल सिस्टम ऑफ टेकिंग आउट ऑयल इन इंडिया. एंड नाउ द स्टडीज आर शोइंग दैट द कोल्ड प्रेस ऑयल retains more of the natural flavor and nutrient of the oil than the double refined or the refined oils. अगर आप हर रीजन में देख लीजिए, लाइक गुजरात टेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ कोल्ड प्रेस ग्राउंडनट ऑयल, साउथ में चले जाइए तो दे टेक अ लॉट ऑफ कोल्ड प्रेस कोकोनट ऑयल, नॉर्थ की तरफ चले जाइए तो दे ईट अ लॉट ऑफ कोल्ड प्रेस मस्टर्ड ऑयल. सो दिस वर द ओरिजिनल ट्रेडिशनल सिस्टम. of cold pressed thing. So it is good for your health. And refinement removes the impurity, odor, but it also removes some of the natural nutrient from the oil. So hence वो जो process किया जाता है उसमें जो chemicals use किए जाते हैं, that is not something which is good for our health. So now, do you know that? So these are some of the facts like omega-3, as I've said, कि omega-3 का role क्या play करता है. It supports in our heart health, it supports in the brain health, it supports in the joint flexibility. So even in joint problem, knee pain maybe, along with glucosamine and protein, omega-3 plays a very, very important role because जो inflammation है, ये इसको कम करने में मदद करता है. It supports your circulatory health, it supports your vision health. Uh, so this is the requirement like Farooq talked about कि how much omega-3 fatty acids we need, and typically in the Indian diet, India specifically, हम omega-3 में बहुत ज़्यादा deficient as a nation है because we don't eat much fish, and even the fish that we get is not the salmon which has got the highest quantity of omega-3 fatty acids in it. So we as a nation, we are very less on protein, and we are also very less on omega-3 fatty acid. इसलिए अगर आप देखें कि कार्डियक रिलेटेड इश्यूज या डायबिटिक रिलेटेड इश्यूज, व्हाई वी हैव बिकम द डायबिटिक कैपिटल ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, और व्हाई द कार्डियक प्रॉब्लम जो आ रही है. आई मीन yesterday लास्ट इवनिंग आई वाज स्पीकिंग टू माय कजन. ही इज फ्रॉम अ मर्चेंट नेवी बैकग्राउंड. अभी सडनली दिवाली में आई एक पेन उठा एंड पता चला देयर इज 90% ब्लॉकेज. 5 टन डल गए. And something which is not right in our society and community is we have accepted this very, very casually. मतलब डायबिटीज तो लोग ऐसे एक दूसरे से बात करते हैं कि जैसे कुछ हुआ ही नहीं है. आई मीन आई हैव अ फ्रेंड ऑफ माइन, वो डायबिटिक को तो ऐसे बोलता है जैसे वो मतलब ठीक, सब बीमार है तो हम भी बीमार है, मतलब मेजोरिटी. हेल्थ इज ओनली अ पार्ट ऑफ the game where you don't want to become a part of the majority. You want to be in that minority. And what is minority is the people who have chosen to take charge of their health. you know तो जब तक जिएंगे शान से जिएंगे, वो दवाई पे डिपेंडेंट हो के नहीं जिएंगे. राइट. नाउ ईट हार्ड वर्सेस ईट स्मार्ट. सो ओमेगा 3 फैटी एसिड्स है, लेकिन क्या हमको राइट सोर्स से मिल पाता है? लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल डेट्स हैज गॉट 929, लाइक डेट्स से आप खा सकते हो, लेकिन यू शुड लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल अगर आपको वो जो 1600 mg पूरा करना है, फॉर एग्जांपल 1600 mg, so you need to have either of this alone or a combination of all the stuff. Like for example 1600 mg आपको 100 eggs खाओगे तो मिलेगा. Now 100 एग खाना प्रैक्टिकली पता नहीं पॉसिबल है या नहीं है, मुझे नहीं पता. बट उसके साथ आपको कैलोरीज भी मिल रही है और फैट्स भी मिल रहे हैं. मिल्क 31 ग्लास मिल्क अगर आप पियोगे तो ये उतना ओमेगा 3 आपको मिलेगा. 98 डेट्स खाओगे तो उतना मिलेगा. सो इज इट प्रैक्टिकली पॉसिबल? राइट. बाजरा 57 कप्स ऑफ बाजरा में उतना ओमेगा 3 फैटी एसिड मिलेगा जो कि बॉडी को चाहिए. सो वो जो 2 बादाम भिगा के सुबह खा लियो, 2 बादाम में कुछ नहीं है, मतलब इट इज ऑलमोस्ट नेग्लिजिबल जो 2 बादाम आएगा उसमें. So this is what versus you can take one soft gel which has got 180 mg of EPA and 120 mg of DHA. So this is the choices, like either you can eat smart or eat hard or eat smart. So कई बार हमें लगता है कि हमने 2 बादाम खा लिया, हमारे बॉडी का न्यूट्रिशन रिक्वायरमेंट पूरा हो गया. इट इज नॉट इनफ. So you need to understand what is required and how much and why supplementation, because this is the purest form to bridge that gap. वो जो gap है what the body needs versus what you eat, वो जो gap है, that gap needs to be bridged through the supplementation. And when you pick up supplementation, you should know that what is the right supplementation. Is it synthetic? Is it natural? Right? So the last slide, shine. Now, what is shine? Start every day with gratitude and optimism. Have your nutrition on time, because morning nutrition is utmost important, because रात को जो body में repair हो रहा है कहीं ना कहीं, when you get up in the morning, we tend to skip a breakfast, and hence जो nutritional requirement है body की वो पूरी नहीं होती है. Uh, Intentions, visualize and set clear intention. It's very important to have intentions, right intention. Like for us in our family, one thing is very clear: we don't want to fall sick, we want to have a healthy life. Even if I'm 90, 85, 90, and every day, like each Monday and Friday when I see this presentations, the program, I learn something new every time, right? We learn something new and exercise daily. That's the most important thing. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, so this is the end of my slide, but I want to make a very, very special announcement. Uh, you all are in for a big treat for this next session, which is going to happen on this Friday, right? I'm very excited about this next session, because you are going to hear a very, very transformational story from Anaita Tarapur. So अभी तक आप फरूक को सुनते थे, but आप अनाइटा को सुनेंगे, अनाइटा की जर्नी को सुनेंगे, उन्होंने क्या चैलेंज था और क्या हेल्थ गोल को उन्होंने अचीव किया. सो ट्रस्ट मी, यू ऑल आर इन फॉर अ बिग ट्रीट. एंड सेकंड, यू आर गोइंग टू हियर फ्रॉम अ कॉर्पोरेट लेडी. हम सबका एक ही कंप्लेन होता है, हमारे पास टाइम नहीं है, ये कैसे करें, हमें मल्टीटास्क करना है, इंश्योरेंस है, जब होगा तब देखा जाएगा. बट व्हाट इज द इम्पैक्ट? सो यू आर गोइंग टू हियर फ्रॉम अनाइटा थारापुर, यू आर गोइंग टू हियर फ्रॉम वेदावती शेट्टी, एंड आई विल ऐड सम वैल्यू टू in between. But do make it a point, do invite all your family and friends जिसको भी जानते हो. नेक्स्ट सेशन डोंट टेक इट फॉर ग्रांटेड, बिकॉज आप एक ऐसी ट्रांसफॉर्मेशनल स्टोरी सुनोगे, दो ऐसी ट्रांसफॉर्मेशनल स्टोरी सुनोगे, अनाइटा की और वेदा की, दैट what this program has added value to their life. So I'm more than this, whatever we spoke, I'm really excited, looking forward for the Friday session, because Friday is going to be become, आप अभी तक जो आप सुन रहे थे, आप ये testimony देखोगे अपने आँख से, सुनोगे, and if you have any questions, I'm sure our panelists are kind enough to answer those questions along with Farooq Tarapur. So thank you very much, and take charge of your health. Thank you. Over to Ruchita.
Thank you so much, Raj. And I see Veda, your hand is raised.
Yes, please. Yes. Thanks, Ruchita. So, Farooq, I had one question. When you started, right, you mentioned the 25 grams of omega-3. So, what is that thumb rule? Like for protein, it's 1 gram per kg body weight. So, how do I understand how much omega-3 is required?
That's a difficult question to understand. So I need, it's not as clear like that it's weight, so much weight in so much grams. It is basically the amount it directly involves with your dietary habits, what kind of dietary habits you're having, how much of omega-3 you are eating, and based on that, you can work out that how much of omega-6 I need. That is just one. The second reason is that if I'm suffering from some form of an inflammation is the body's natural tendency to protect itself, that whenever there's something wrong, there's inflammation, and inflammation is supposed to, do the magic for you. So in order to make that inflammation subside, there is nothing better than omega-3. So it just depends upon the kind of stress that you're in. It kind of depends upon the work-life, the relationships. So every time when it gets worse, the more omega-3 you need. The more omega-6, the more bad omega-6 you are eating, the more omega-3 you need. So that is the basic way you figure how much you need for that.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Farooq. Because what you mentioned about inflammation, I'm already doing that in terms of my basic consumption is 2, but anytime I have any aches, or even if I have a viral or something, then I increase it to 4 or 6. But is 2 enough as a basic consumption, or should we increase? Because mine is usually a vegetarian diet.
Who is on the, you sort of more or less doing it off that box. Yeah, I've consumed an omega-3 supplement. Okay, it is so insignificant that it's not really going to do anything much. The barest minimum that one would need is a 4. Okay, that is like really, really bare minimum. But again, as I said, the more omega-6 that you're eating, the more inflammation you have, the more stress you have, the more, sleep problems you need this. And suppose you are a bad sleeper, then you need to space out your omega-3 supplementation. You got to take it more morning and the afternoon, and less towards the night. There are some people who never have a sleeping problem, who tell me, okay, when I can go to sleep. For them, it doesn't really matter. They can have it at night also, because that's a time when it also does the other work. It helps to calm down everything. So omega-6, in my opinion, is really a miracle It's a miracle, and very, very, not understood well in our country at all, because who eats really salmon in our country, and who really massive fish diet from which you can get omega-3. The most omega-3s that you're getting from vegetarian sources are not even remotely close in terms of quality as compared to the omega-3 that you get from a salmon source. And that is why one has to be very, very careful in understanding what you really want here, and what would be good for your holistic health.
Thanks, Farooq. Thanks, Ruchita.
Thank you, Farooq. I see another question in the chat. One is what is the relation of omega-3 and desi ghee?
Well, omega-3 and?
Desi ghee. The fats in desi ghee and with that of omega-3.
I'm sorry, you're breaking. I can't hear you, bro.
Farooq, they're asking with ghee, what we consume usually in the Indian houses, right? Ghee and omega-3.
Again, it's like ghee of omega-6, and hence the more ghee and that, the more omega-3 you need to just compensate. Okay, it's to just balance out. So you will need a lot more if you're having that stuff, yeah, for sure.
All right. Basit, you can please unmute yourself and ask.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, great session, Raj, and all of you guys. You guys did a fantastic job explaining good fats, omega-3s. Omega-3 has been one of my go-tos with all of my counselees that I do. And I just wanted to add a two-bit here. Veda, you asked a very good question as to how much do you take per day, right? See, remember one thing, whenever you are taking a natural nutrient, okay, now when you're talking about a natural nutrient, which means that either you're taking it from food or you're getting natural supplements. I'm not referring to the pharmaceuticals here, okay? There's something called the body's titration level, which means that the moment your body has achieved its need for that particular time, okay, what your body will do, your bowels will open up and, it'll flush it out. So the best way to figure out as to what is your titration level is to slowly, every dose, go on increasing your nutrients. So somebody asked here that if they're taking 14 omega-3s, is it enough? My reply to that is very simple, that if your bowels are not opening up, which means that if you're not getting loose motions, which means that your body needs more of it, okay? The moment the body reaches that level, you need to stop and you need to taper it down. Okay. Now, when you do that, you'll notice that, as Raj talked here, Farooq talked here, omega-3 is a very, very powerful anti-inflammatory. It's anti-tumor. It's got the entire spectrum of antis here. So you will start noticing that your energy levels will start going up and a whole host of other things. I can tell you about my own particular case study. In 2011, I had a massive accident. My left leg was completely shattered. And they took me in for surgery. And my doctor said it's going to take me 1.5 years to heal and walk normally. My brother started pumping me outside of hospital protocol. In the hospital, he started pumping me with 6 to 10 omegas per day. Okay, so I was finishing off a bottle. Between 6 and 10 days, I was finishing up the whole bottle. Okay. And what that did was I was back on my feet within 3 months. The doctor was aghast that how is it possible for somebody with such a major surgery to be walking in 3 months flat. So go with this idea that you are going to listen to your body. Titration level is what you're going to listen to. And the moment your bowels open up, you need to stop at that, taper it down a little bit and continue with that dose. And that's going to be a safe dose. So that was just a 2-bit that I just wanted to add. I hope it added value to you guys. Thanks, man.
Thank you, Basit. So Basit already answered, but Farooq, we have this question on the group chat. If this is from Shashikala, she's saying if 14 a day that they're consuming is enough, or should we consume more?
It's already been covered now. This question covered. Yeah.
All right. So those are all the questions. Thank you, everyone. You've been a great audience. And like Raj already said, we have a very, very informative session coming up. We have testimonies to look forward to. You do not want to miss out, and you do not want to feel that, oh, I should have invited such person to listen to these stories. Please bring on your friends and families and listen to this informative session. And till then, stay safe. Good night. Thank you.